this mountain, I look down and see a world I was once underneath. I stand on this mountain and I look down. My mind is more than it once knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Now you're here. You're here. You're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found me see. Found me see. I climb down this mountain and I look around just to see that everyone used to be me. I climb down this mountain and I look around. My mind embracing more than the truth. 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 Now you're here. You're here. You're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Found me sing. Found me sing. I once was blind, but now I see the beauty of the world before me. Now you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Now you're here. You're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found me sing. Found me sing. Found me sing. Found me sing.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, tonight is TikTok Tuesday, where myself and Doodle dual stream, triple stream, the official Vladic Castle TikTok. The TikTok lives go down, so we stream them over here. So that way, if Bethany ever wants to refer back to one of her lives, a resource, a chat, something that was said, she'll always have our channels to refer back to. Let's run through here and say hello to everybody. Of course, Vladic's link tree is pinned to the top of my chat. We have Far Q in the house. We have Danielle Bell's link tree. She will be Bethany's special guest tonight. That's where I tried to trigger that. We have Sarah Ellen on Doodle's side. You guys make sure you hit that thumbs up, share the video out. Maxine, thank you so much for being here. Reluctant. We got Donald Duck in the house. Critical consideration. Bad is in the house. Got Lucy Goose. Of course, we got our very own Doodlebug.
Hi, guys.
Plus one is in the house. We got our beautiful Dandy in the house. She says, good to see ya. Beautiful Souls. Jersey Rabbit is in the house. We got Butterfly Kisses rolling in the house. There's Miss Barb. Love to see you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. So, what we generally do on TikTok Tuesday, she doesn't go live till 9. We play the 3-pin videos on Bethany's Find Vlad at Castle official TikTok to give everybody that may not be familiar with his story a quick view of his story. We only interact with 3 videos because TikTok algorithm is different than YouTube. So we don't want to mess up her algorithm with her going live tonight. So I'm going to pull those 3 pinned videos up. We'll take a gander at those. And make sure we have audio because I always forget to hit the little button. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and mute myself while we listen to the 3 pinned videos for those that may not be familiar with Vlad's story.
For 2021. That was the last time anyone heard from Hassel before he disappeared under mysterious circumstances from the UCF area. Vlad's family went on a trip to Tennessee when a series of events unfolded in their absence.
When we got back from that trip, Vlad was gone. So we're still trying to put pieces together of what could have happened. There's a lot of possibilities.
According to his family, his last official sighting was at Foxtail Coffee on University Boulevard. Footage shows he formally trespassed from the coffee shop after reportedly making a customer uncomfortable with pacing 2 days prior. Later on, that customer would come back and say he saw a knife on the table, prompting the trespass.
Vlad frequented Foxtail Coffee House. He frequented other businesses on University 3 times a week to be there.
After the incident at Foxtail, early reports say he went from the complex out of breath and paranoid.
Family enlisted the help of Steve Fisher, a private investigator, to aid the search. Fisher, in partnership with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, identified a shoe found in the wooded area near the place as the same one Vlad was wearing the day he was trespassed, as seen in the image.
I think we're 90%. Certain slides too. That can often be a sign of a struggle, like a fight goes on.
Sitting united, the family left a message for Hassel.
We love him so much. So very much. We just need to know he's okay. Wherever you are, Vlad. We just need to know if you're okay.
For now, Hassel's location is still unknown, but his family and investigators refuse to give up.
car shows this weekend. It's at Desertland Park on I Drive in Orlando, Florida. Well, let me put the right one up here. All the way, it should be fine. Sorry, guys, I'm using my phone, so it's just a minute for it to catch up with us.
In our missing series, the disappearance of a young veteran from Florida. A lot of you have reached out to us about this case. Brian Vladek Castle vanished 6 months ago. His father says the last time he saw his 22-year-old son was when they were for a trip out of state for his birthday. Brian decided not to go on that trip. Well, when his dad returned home, Brian was gone and his cell phone had been left behind. Brian Enton most of the past few days in Orlando digging into this story for us. Brian's family is obviously desperate for answers right now. What stood out to you as you started to follow the clues that had been left behind?
Well, a few things stood out, Marnie. First of all, Vladek is just a really nice guy, according to everyone we spoke to. He's the kind of person who would smile at strangers on the street, start up conversation with strangers. He would pick up homeless people and take them out to dinner or help them pay their bills. But he was also complicated, like so many of us. He suffered from depression and disappeared. Hey, how are you? All right, I'm Brian. Hi, nice to meet you. Well, we got to Brian Vladek Castle's Orlando apartment. His dad and 2 sisters waiting, desperate for any help. Happy birthday, dear Vladek. Happy birthday to you. We're desperate to find the missing 23-year-old Marine who vanished in November of last year. What's life like for you right now, not knowing?
I wake up sometimes at night and think he's there. I realized I was just dreaming. I've trouble sleeping at night. Talking a lot.
Steve Hassel adopted Vladek from a Russian orphanage when he was just 5 years old. He has 7 siblings, and after high school, joined the Marines. He was honorably discharged, and his family says he's had his ups and downs and bouts of depression that trace back to his childhood in Moscow. Vladek's dad went out of town on November 5th. It's the last time the family saw Vladek.
I was really worried because I was thinking about his mental health, and I know my dad had mentioned some concerns that he had about like his behavior and some of the stuff he was saying. He was like very like hyper focused on religion, talking about archangels and demons the night before my dad left.
I would talk to anyone who was known to help homeless people with rides and money.
He had been really struggling with his finding his purpose in life after leaving the Marines, and with reaching out to the homeless community, I feel like that really gave him a purpose.
This Orlando coffee shop was where Vladek spent most of his time. He was known for pacing there. His family says a customer accused him of having a pocket knife on the table he was sitting at, caused the manager to call the police. They told him he couldn't come back. That was right before he vanished in November.
My first thought was he had a mental breakdown because of what happened with the coffee shop and his level of depression to start with, and that maybe he went off time thought to it and just stayed there.
In the apartment complex, the maintenance workers Vladek because he walked around the neighborhood at night and smiled at everyone. His family thinks he may have had a mental breakdown and could be in a massive wooded area behind the complex.
But there is a kind of an opening back in here that he would go back. You could get back in there a ways, but it's just overgrown with palmetto bushes and trees.
Not knowing what happened is pure agony.
I need to know. I keep telling God, just tell me, where is he? God, is he here or is he with you? And that's very hard.
There have been some reported sightings of Vladek. Someone said see him at a homeless camp. There was also a possible sighting at a 7-Eleven, but at this point, none of that. Marnie?
It's just so heartbreaking, Brian, to hear that dad and see his tears and know that the fear of the unknown keeps you up at night. It's something that you appreciate when you hear him put it into words. Brian, thank you. If you have seen Brian Black, you have any information about his disappearance, call the Orange County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. As Brian said, it is an open and active case, and they are looking for him. Thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button below so you can get more.
Those were the top 3 videos, so we're just waiting for Bethany to go live. It is 9 o'clock, and I've got it pulled up on my phone too, so that way we'll be ready when she does go live. Thank you all for being here. Arctic, thank you so much for coming in, love. We always appreciate you being here. Our dear brother and team. Mom, did you see that there was an international ring busted a few days? Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, we're sounding like a robot, Mom.
Are we?
Mr. Robot.
Oh no, let me turn my Wi-Fi off. Phone, that should help. Is that any better?
Yep, lots better.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for being here.
What you talking about, Willis?
Could be my swamp signal.
Could be. Could be
Very possibly could be.
Bagoogers? Bagoogers got
there. The bagoogers. With my swamp signal here. The car show went phenomenal. I'm really proud of advocacy to families. It was really nice, and we had missing people's flyers on the table. It was an amazing experience. Wouldn't have been able to do it without my team, Bethany and Aiden's family, and my community. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everybody that donated or helped plan it. Shout out to Arctic for having an idea of a car show. And we're also able to feature the guitar for a balloon search that's coming up for a giveaway. So we're excited to see if somebody cool gets it. If so, I'm going to do like photos with the person when I present it to them. So it'll be really cool if it is someone that is local that won the guitar.
That would be really neat.
And that's what myself and we were talking about. We were really hoping, like, fingers crossed, that it's somebody local, so I can get some pictures of me presenting the guitar to the person. Site can't be reached. Perfect. Up on TikTok. Wait. She's lost. Thank you so much for paying. We normally do this on Doodle side of the world. This does load pretty quickly. What I'll do is switch over to the TikTok app. Load them. Oh, there it goes. Pardon. I gotta load the TikTok app. This is taking forever. Everybody in, let everybody in there. I don't want to relate there. And CBN is supposed to be faster. It's supposed to work regardless, and it's not wanting to play fair.
I don't know if I could pull it up on my side. Would that be easier for you? Like my TikTok deal, and then you could maybe play it? I don't know how it works from this side. I'm new to this.
Yeah, we can't do it like that if it doesn't look, because I don't want to miss the. That's just frustrating. Normally, that's that loads right up.
Just in case I have it pulled up, just in case you need it.
Yeah, go ahead and. Is it already back there? Yep.
Yeah.
We'll just add you to the stage.
Well, how have you been since I saw you?
Good. I feel like that was just yesterday.
No, it's coming up on
been-
a week and a half though. I know.
It's been a whirlwind.
I know. It was. It really was. I was in on Friday, out on Sunday, and it was
So much was packed into the weekend too. Like, it was amazing.
it was fantastic. It was great, and I really feel like I have a whole new mindset on moving forward. Did you note that they had released the course yesterday?
I saw that.
Yeah, I went through it. I beta tested it for them, and it's really, really good. And so I got so much information and a whole list of things that I need to do after that course. So I attended their webinar tonight as well at 5. Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, they poured their heart and soul into that. They did such an incredible job.
Right. And for me, my relationship with law enforcement's not great. So they're at the point now where they're calling my stepdad, and he's calling me. My stepdad calls me and he's like, "Do you have this?" or "What do you know about this?" And he's being like
the middleman.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's just as committed to advocating for Danielle, but he's just an old school kind of guy. He's not online much. He's not going to be posting and stuff. So
yeah,
he's. I feel bad for him though, because I'm like, this is not something that he needs to worry about. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to repair that relationship with law enforcement, but
yeah, it's normal. Do you want to start off by talking about Advocacy Con and the weekend? And
yeah, I have my brochure here. I don't know how many family members of the unalived or missing do we have in here? Podcast creators that might be.
Let's see. There's usually a few. I don't know if Aiden's mom is here or not. Sound off in the comments. Let us know who all is joining us tonight. And what colors do you use for Danielle?
Purple.
Purple. So if you can put purple hearts, green hearts in the comments. I don't think she's available right now. Okay. Ada's mom isn't on now, but we can still chat about it so others know what it was about.
So I have my, I don't know if you can see it. I was just going to pull it up, but with the filter, I don't think you can see it. But this was the like program from it. Advocacy Con was held in Indianapolis, March 28th to the 30th, and I finally got to meet you in person. And it was packed full of some of the most valuable information I've come across as a person that's been advocating for a missing person for 24 years. So it was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, and I've got still have a whole list of things I need to do, but it was just a room full of family members advocating for their loved ones, and it was, I've met people here and there, like here on TikTok, people from the local community where Danielle went missing in Pensacola, but that was phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about it. I would love to hear what you think.
It blew my mind. Like, it surpassed anything I could have imagined, I guess. Like, I'm just so proud of them, just for how much thought they put into every little detail was just so powerful. And like, this is something that missing and unsolved cases, their families have needed for so long. Like, for your family, you guys have been going through this for over 2 decades, and just having community, bringing these families together so we can lean on each other, like that in itself would have been everything. But they went above and beyond that and bringing in so many resources and ideas that I've never thought of. Like, and then, having all these families together, being able to share with one another what we've all tried. Every case is different. We've tried different things. So being able to share that with each other was really powerful. And I'm like, wow, I can't wait for next year.
I know I was disappointed it was towards the fall. I was like, it's going to be in March.
I know.
1 more year. But it's a year and
a half? What the heck?
I know, I was disappointed. And so for me, there were moments where I was crying, but then it wasn't like this despair of crying. It was just almost like this overwhelm of just support and hope. I have the program right here. I was going to mention some of the seminars that we went to. And so some of them were the topics. Let's see. How to write press releases was talked about a bit, using social media, FOIA request. Did you see the guy that had the FOIA shirt on? I can't remember what his name was.
Oh, was it Justin? No.
I don't know. It was FOIA.
He partnered with Haley doing that talk.
Yeah, it was great.
That was amazing.
Partnering with law enforcement, just all of these different topics that are so relevant to the advocacy journey. It was Jordan Taylor. Okay, awesome. And then I saw a comment that someone said Pensacola, Florida, and that was in reference to what I was talking about, where my sister went missing. Yeah, Pensacola, Florida. It's in the very northwest panhandle of Florida. So it was great. What was your favorite one?
Oh gosh, I have to pick one.
I know.
It was just so informative. Like, Haley and Jordan talking about the FOIA requests, like, it's stuff that I didn't even think of considering for Vladek's case, because they always say it's an open investigation, they can't release much. But how they said how some families, they put in the request, they get denied. They put in their request 2 months later, it gets approved. It all depends on which person is reading the request. So like continuing to try was really good to hear, and just having that format of what they used, and then Haley and Whitney and the parents, her name is escaping me, doing the advocacy blueprint, for families was incredible. What's
Yes,
that?
Susan Renee, the parents
Susan
of
Renee. Thank you. Yes.
who was unalived in 2019. I just got off a webinar for the Advocacy Blueprint. And if you are a family, friend of a missing or unalived person, I actually, just before this, linked the Advocacy Blueprint in my link tree. So if you go to my bio, it is free to families, and
yes,
there's a form that you fill out and they'll get back in touch with you. But if you have a missing or unalived loved one that you are advocating for, please, please, please sign up for this course. It is so valuable. I've been in the missing person space for 24 years, and there were things in this blueprint in this course that I learned. It's just really, really cool that it's available.
yeah, it's incredible everything that they've been able to compile and bring together. Just I don't know how they can top it, but they will. They are just on fire.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I agree that they did a great job organizing it for an inaugural conference. It was really, really great.
So yeah, feel free to discuss anything you want to or feel comfortable with. The floor is yours. And
yeah, so I saw someone is in here from Cantonment, which is like the suburb where my sister went missing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm happy to share her story. My sister, Danielle Bell, this is her right here. She looks much older than what she was at the time, but she was only 14 years old. And in 2001, September 28th, specifically, she went missing after having been, I want to make sure I'm using correct terminology, involved being harmed by a 24-year-old man named Alfredo Sanchez, who is currently serving 40 plus years for 2 counts of lewd and lascivious behavior. One of those being for my sister, another young juvenile female as well. And we do believe we are looking for remains here, and that she was met with foul play. We also have suspicions that she was, my mother was a heavy addict, and that my mother was involved in willingly letting my daughter be involved with my sister, Danielle, be involved with this 24-year-old man in exchange for her addiction. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I have, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, all under Missing Child Danielle Bell, trying to advocate for my sister. Recently, we found out that there were some fragmented remains found about a mile from where she went missing. They found those back in 2022. Those remains still have not been tested, so I am trying to get them to do that. And then, everything that I learned at the advocacy conference, just applying that to her case and seeing where it takes us.
Thank you so much for sharing, girly. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to jot it in the comments, but I just ask that you be respectful. If there's anything that is too much to answer, we'll just go ahead and direct you back to her TikTok page or YouTube to learn more about Danielle's case. Yeah.
So one thing I'm always looking for is podcast suggestions. I've done about 12 so far. I'm looking to do more. And yes, I am happy to talk about my relationship with law enforcement and why it's not so great. So there is a whole list of things that I feel law enforcement has dropped the ball on. I can tell you all one of the tube of you, yes. I can tell you that the most troubling thing was back in 2019. Actually, let me back up. There's two main suspects in my sister's case. One of them, the man that was abusing her, and his best friend. His best friend's house was the last place that my sister was seen. And he started, I don't know, probably 2012, was posting in Facebook groups when asked what he did with her, that she was put into a hog pen. And this has been a rumor that has surrounded her case since the very beginning. They never went and questioned him about that. I do believe he was questioned in the beginning, but he was never questioned about his postings that she was placed in a hog. There was someone that said that they were there the night that she was unalived, and I brought them that information, gave them that person's name, address, phone number, never followed up on it. 2019, there had always been, and there were a lot of rumors that surrounded my sister's case, but the two that stood out the most and that were the most consistent is that the hog pen, and then the second one was that our mom was trafficking her, basically. I never had any reason to suspect that my mom was involved in that lifestyle. I knew that she had addiction problems, but I didn't know the severity of what lengths she would go to. In 2019, I was able to confirm that she was involved in that lifestyle, not in direct relation to my sister, but confirmed that she was a worker, and took that information to the police, begged them to bring her in for questioning, asked them if they ever gave her a polygraph, to what extent had they gone and questioned her prior, and they never followed up on that. And then she passed in October of 2020. So that was never followed up on. So I moved after I found out of my mom's involvement in that lifestyle. I decided it was time for me to leave Pensacola, Florida, and I moved. It was just too painful to be there anymore. And so I took a break, and I started, got on TikTok in 2022, started posting, and people started listening about Danielle. And so through the encouragement of some connections I made an appointment, flew back down to Florida, met with the Sheriff's Department in April of 2024, asking those hard questions again that they didn't have answers for, but they assured me that by the end of July 2024, they would have a plan of action. Additionally, they were going to put together a panel review by pulling in people from different areas of the agency, whether that be on foot, people, like patrol officers, as well as detectives from other areas. And I was like, great, sounds good. But they guaranteed me by July 31st they'd have a plan of action. July 31st came, never heard from them. The month of August, never heard from them. So I emailed them in September and was like, hey, what's the status? So the response I got back was, this is an active investigation. We cannot provide you with any additional information. They've denied all of my public records requests since then, and have completely stopped speaking to me. I'm asking questions like, where's the 911 call from the night she went missing? They can't find it. Why didn't you question our mother? Et cetera, et cetera. And they cannot answer those questions. So that's why I've been loud. And, we just had our first first national piece of coverage on Danielle's case. She never got national coverage. And that was back in February. So I'm, learned how to do it, to get more media coverage. And I've reached out to Mara Murray's sister Julie and like, have your contacts, please. So right now I'm just going step by step, doing what I can to move our case forward. And I honestly want to hold them accountable at the end of the day. I mean, to me, these are just simple questions that I'm asking that they should be able to answer. It's not like I'm asking them to figure out, Morse code here. It's pretty easy to, where is the 911 call? Either you have it or you don't. Why don't you have it? Why didn't you question her? I don't know.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. During Advocacy Con, were you able to partake in the recording part?
Yes, I did. I did do the recording. So, I did what I'm hoping to be episode 1 of a podcast series about Danielle's case. There's so many details in it.
Mm-hmm.
Way more than I can talk about in a 1 hour live or on a one show, so I'm super glad that happened. The work that was put into AdvocacyCon and the support was phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it.
So needed.
Very much needed.
Melissa said they didn't just drop the ball, they didn't even show up for the game. Yes.
Right. And that's something I've talked to people about too, is the kind of, thank you, Erin. One thing that what I've been talking about a lot lately is, what does it look like? What does the relationship between family members and law enforcement look like? And for me, I've been describing it as an abusive gaslighting relationship, because a lot of times, and I think Erin can attest to this, because I just pour out through text message to Erin a lot, my frustrations and just like, I feel like I was making, we're not reading the same documentation. like they make me feel like I'm losing it sometimes. So to have like all of the support and these podcast creators that have read the same documentation are like, no, we're reading it the same way, it doesn't make any sense. And if it wasn't for the community, I don't know that I would be here. I would have been put away somewhere at this point, Bethany. I mean, for real, like it's bad.
Yeah, and all these sheriff's departments and whatnot, they don't have, at least everyone I've seen or heard from of other families don't have a missing person department. And, that's where they could really benefit, because, with Danielle's case, it wasn't unalive from the beginning per se. So like having that empathy of having towards your family and being able to guide and direct you a bit easier, and then just even still having empathy for these unsolved, unalive cases too. Like, these are families, these are real people, and it's not just checking a box. Engaging in empathy is just so vital.
Right. And I don't know I don't know that they receive that kind of training. I mean, I don't want to talk strictly negative of law enforcement, but I also believe in, my minor is in criminal justice and my major is in legal studies. So I'd like to think I know a little something, but I do have a problem with giving a young person a badge and a gun after 9 months of training without learning how to community police, and they're just citing statutes. That's literally what they're learning, and then combat defense skills, whatever that looks like. But I do believe that there needs to be more training, learning about how law enforcement impacts society on a greater scale, I think is imperative. And I think that's imperative in responding to a domestic dispute or a missing person case. I think it's essential.
Absolutely. And there was a comment further up if you knew of any open Jane Doe cases that you felt should be followed up on with your sister's case.
Yeah, so there were remains found about a mile from where she was last seen she was in 2022. There is Dan from Missing in the USA found these.
Oh wow.
Yeah, thanks to him. So they're fragmented very.
That's so
I don't know, know what parts or what it is, but they're fragmented, and they've been sitting in the First District of Florida's medical examiner's office ever since then, never tested for DNA. So when I found out a couple of weeks ago, this was about a week or so before Advocacy Con, and called and found out that they hadn't been tested. Well, then I started looking into all of these other remains that aren't being tested. And if Erin is still in here, I have a question for her. Because come to find out, there are lots of remains that are just sitting and not being tested. Additionally, finding out that there's some states that haven't even tested the R-word kits. I do you recall, Erin, didn't you say there was 2 states, and I don't remember the states, but they haven't been tested since 2018? And that's sipping on some crime. Erin with sipping on some crime. Hopefully she can answer that. But that was really concerning to me.
Yeah.
And then law enforcement was not even aware that these remains had been sitting in there. So they're supposed to be looking into them. I've got it on my list to follow up. 2 states that were ridiculously high. Of not testing. These kits are, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were just remains sitting. But it was really frustrating to think, this was a mile from where she was last seen.
Jeez, and they're not alerted.
So if this is an active investigation, as the excuse that you like to use to not provide answers to the questions, once again, I'm having to alert you. Why is law enforcement not alerted in some way? Like, I don't know where that gap is, but that's where it gets frustrating. I know they want me to go away. I know the Escambia County Sheriff's Office wants
solve the case, and we will.
Right. They want me to stop asking questions. But it's obvious to me at this point that if I don't, nothing's going to get done.
Yep, absolutely.
Wisconsin Supreme Court judge left hundreds of kids for years. I mean, so we're letting unidentified remains and people that have been greatly harmed not get justice. We're focusing on the wrong things as a society, in my opinion.
Yeah. 100%. That's good, Melissa. Oh, I missed that. Highest untested kits. Jeez. DNA testing is massively behind on found dose, trying to match them via DNA analysis. Man, that's just so crazy to think about. Like, you see these systems and you think, in a perfect world, it's the internet. It should be instantaneous to be able to get some results, but it's still taking years for some cases. And it's just, that's where time, energy needs to be focused on, not these other things right now that don't matter.
And
crazy.
Yeah, agreed. And then I think about the fact that not everyone reports and so what incentive do they have if the chances of it getting tested is low anyways, you know? I mean, things like that, I think we have to look at how that impacts the victims. And if I know that and this is just a scenario, I'm just to create a imagery for people. You know, let's say it happens to me, but I also know that it happened to my friend and she never got tested. Why am I going to go seek help?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or go to the hospital for a kit if I don't think that there's a point in it. So we're letting people down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What is one of your favorite memories of Danielle sharing together?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a lot. One of the ones that I remember very well is we used to watch the show Daria together. It was on MTV in the 90s, and she used to say, Bonnie, you're Daria and I'm Quinn. And I don't know if you've seen the show or not, but Daria was like the dark, melancholy one, and Quinn was the outgoing cheerleader. And it was a very, very accurate description of the differences between Danielle and I. Yeah, somebody else loves Daria. I love Daria. Daria, we used to watch it together every week. And
I love that. I'll check that one out.
Yeah, it's a cartoon based show. It's cute. And so, you know, Danielle and we spent a lot of time on the beach. A lot of time on the beach. That's what we did a lot. There was 6 years between us. So by the time I started driving and I was 16, she was 10. And she started going with me to my friends' houses, and we would take one of my friends lived on a canal, and her some other friends, there was like the 8 of us, and she would always get on this paddle. It's like a paddle boat. It's like the ones that you paddle like this.
Yeah.
I would stick her with my one of my friends' older sisters so she could keep an eye on Danielle for me. As long as we were close by. She was like in her mid-20s, and I was like, okay, watch her. Make sure she doesn't do anything crazy. While we would get in the boat, it was like a little John boat. Those were some good memories too. She had fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, she was the youngest, and I was the oldest. So
You guys have other siblings?
We do. We have one in the middle. That sibling is, you know, married and has kids. So try not to mention them too much. Yeah. And they were only 2 years apart, and they went to school together. So that's been impactful for them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Danielle has a lot of cousins that frequently, you know, I talk to, and so it's my stepdad, her dad, my stepdad's side. We all miss her very much. They grew up with her, all close in age. So she's not forgotten, that's for sure.
And she never will be.
Right. And all are supportive of, you know, keeping on advocating for Danielle, and they all help in different ways. So it's it's a good thing, but those cousins look just like her too. So people tell me I look like her, and I don't always see it, but I look at one of my cousins and like, they're like a twin.
Wow. Let's see if I missed any comments here.
I featured Mind of Monsters. I featured a case last week. A university ended up giving a doe in New Jersey her name back. Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And that's why you do what you do, right? Like, that's why. And yes, Daria is a fantastic show. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. I don't know if you can stream it, but I should look it up. I'd love to restart that show, actually, and binge watch it.
Yes, I need to check that out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's when she, and for some reason that one I've like had dreams of her saying that to me again over and over again, and I'm like, well, it's so true though. It's like one of my most vivid memories.
It is. Yeah.
But once you watch it, you might Daria can be a little bit dramatic and like very melancholy, so I've never taken it personally, luckily, but what do you think about that? I'm like, is that really how you saw me?
Oh, Melissa said you can stream it on Paramount Plus. I don't know if I can say that out loud. Or that one. I never know what I can say on TikTok and what I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I have a big mouth, as I'm sure you know, my in general, and I say whatever, so I do have to be mindful. So when you text me or reminder, I'm like, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know. TikTok is like, I feel like it's like walking on eggshells all the time.
It is. Well, last week I didn't know if it was still going to be here, so
Yeah, that too.
I'm hoping it, continues.
Hopefully so. It's just been such a great resource for getting these cases out there.
Yeah, I mean, I started posting on Facebook right as soon as it came out about Danielle, and of course, there was a lot of community support, but the support here on TikTok has been something that I've never experienced with success here.
And for those that are tuning in, please follow the account there, Missing Child Danielle Bell. Bonnie is advocating for her sister who has been missing for 24 years near Pensacola, Florida. Please follow the account, watch the pinned TikTok videos, interact with no more than 3, because I guess TikTok has a weird thing. If you do too many, it messes up things. But if you want to learn more about Danielle's case, please follow that account and check that account out on other social media pages as well, on the Book of Faces and the Gram.
And I have a YouTube channel that I basically repost TikTok.
The Tube of You. Yes. Yes.
Arctic Fox True Crime. Yeah, that sounds good. Reach out, I'll reach out to you. I keep my DMs open, folks. I mean, you can DM me. I also have an email address, justiceforDanielleBell@gmail.com. I'm happy to talk to anyone at any point in time about her case, as long as they're ethical, which I'm sure you are. That's not what I'm saying at all. But Bethany, have you done any podcast?
Several, yeah. And I can send you the list of who's covered Vlad's case. There's so many incredible advocates out there, podcasters that do it in the right way, which is really, really good.
Right.
Like, I don't think I've gotten any of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensationalism podcasters. So that's been good.
Well, I'm just turning.
What's that?
I'm turning my mic back on. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
The reason I asked, because that was talked about a lot at Advocacy Con, was ethical true crime reporting. And I have had really good luck so far, except for one. And that was Down the Rabbit Hole podcast that published a podcast about Danielle's story and had it all wrong. Yeah, that was not okay. But for the most part, everybody's been great. I just get alarmed when I start getting text messages that people are like inquiring about Danielle's case and they haven't even reached out to me.
Right. Like, I have seen some videos on the Tube of You that they hadn't like reached out to me. So like all the ones that haven't reached out to me are not accurate. Because it's like the telephone game with social media. So like you get little bits of a story here and there, and it's not going to be accurate. So as I'm sure you would say, families really appreciate you reaching out as a podcaster to these families. Let them know that you're interested in covering the stories and to make sure that you have the facts straight, because it's so easy with the internet to have details wrong.
Right. Like they had, basically they had stated that they didn't think that, the guy that was harming her prior to her disappearance and had threatened to unalive her because of this right here.
Mm-hmm.
That if she told anyone, he would unalive her. They didn't report that. There was all kinds of things. They had facts all wrong, and I was livid to be kind about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's why I love what, TikTok has connected me with so many different creators that are victim centered, and it's just mind blowing because you hear about people getting taken advantage of so much. For example, that's why Sarah Turney, started
Yep.
a podcast too, right? So
Yeah, and only you know the full story. So, like, I think that's beautiful that you're going to start doing some episodes for Danielle's case because that's where accuracy is, hearing it straight from the family.
yeah, slipping on some crime, Aaron. Even news reports can get it wrong. Yeah, I mean, luckily, News Nation did a great job. They even allowed me to talk about my mom, which has kind of been a point of contention for some folks, which is understandable. But I also, I'm at a point where I want to report everything that I know to be true to this day. And I feel like that's necessary because it also puts pressure on law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So absolutely, thank you for the invite, and I would be more than happy to.
Have you teamed up with Haley yet? I feel like you have.
Haley?
Yeah.
Does she have? No, not
yet.
Not on podcasts. No.
Well, she doesn't do podcasts, but she partners with podcasts to write the script.
Uh-huh.
And then she'll get your blessing, make sure it all is accurate, and then she can send it to different podcasts. But she can help with a timeline if you need one for Danielle's case to put on your link tree, like stuff like that as well.
I'm gonna make a note to reach out to her then about that.
Yeah, I can do a little group message there. And then
I have her email, so
do perfect.
I will email Haley.
Perfect. Welcome in, Amy. So those that are here, also please follow the account. Have you seen Aiden? Amy is searching for her son, Aiden, missing from the Nevada desert. And then also please follow the account Missing Child Danielle Bell. Bonnie is on here advocating for her sister, Danielle, missing 24 years from Pensacola, Florida. Please follow the account, watch the Penn TikTok videos to learn about her story, and interact with a few of them as well.
So have you had any updates in your case? Hey, Justice for Love. Everyone, Justice for Love, that just said, hey, Bonnie, is advocating for her daughter who has been harmed. So she's trying to get DA to do some more work there. So if you go support her, that'd be great. I have, as a matter of fact, the very first podcast I did for Danielle was Unfound with Ed. Ed is great.
That's awesome. I haven't heard of that one.
Ed Dinsley. He was like on TV or something at some point. He's great.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll have to check him out. As far as Vlad's case, nothing new. No leads, sightings. I feel like a broken record with Vlad's case. But, with each day, more eyes see him, more eyes see his flyer. So that's new. So it just takes one more set of eyes, the right set of eyes, to recognize him and come forward with a tip. So I'm just very grateful to each and every person helping share his flyer online, or in their cities, because that's what it's going to take to get a tip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Aaron on Sipping with Some Crime just said. Broken records get heard, and that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car show.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You should talk about the car show.
Oh yeah, the car show was amazing. I don't have an updated little thing to show about like it. Let me see. Maybe I can just show. Bear with me. I'm not good at this.
Every time I try to change over my background,
Right?
goes around. I'm always afraid I'm going to end something.
It's probably going to be way too big.
Oh,
it's so stretched out.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten my
Oh,
candle.
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that actually turned out well.
It does.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Yeah.
The car show was incredible. Mind of Monsters, Christy, helped made it possible for us to be out there. Her stepdad is on the board with the Mid Florida Mustang Club, who sponsored it, and they sponsored a tent for Missing Out of Florida. And then also Aiden was able to be represented as well because they did a little raffle. I talk with my hands, and all you can see is my hands. It's weird. They did a raffle to raise money and funds. They're raffling off a purple electric guitar, and the funds for that will go towards a search at the, I want to say, end of May, in the Nevada desert. If you guys would like to participate in that raffle, let me know. It's still going on. I think the last day of when they're pulling the winner will be on the 11th. And then, yeah, we had, Danielle Bell's flyer there. We had Vladix. So many cases. John Rouse, Missing Out of Florida. So it's just great opportunity for awareness for these cases. And, several people, April 12th is the last day. Thank you, Christy. Several people that had stopped by, they're like, oh, it's kind of eye-awakening for individuals because they don't think about it. It's not something that's a part of their daily conversation like it is for families. And just being able to open individuals' eyes that it is such a big thing, a big issue in our country, and everybody can play a part in awareness. Everybody can play a part in solving a case, and all it takes is sharing one picture, one flyer. So I'm just so grateful that we were able to come together for that. And yeah, I was blown away. Christy, all of you guys did such an amazing job.
Yeah, thank you for featuring Danielle at that table. Very much appreciated. Community is amazing.
Yes. And one of Christy's followers, Steve, put together these little keychains and pens, which was such a sweet and beautiful surprise. And thank you to him as well. If you're on the YT side watching, really grateful for your love and for your support for our families.
Oh, thank you. And the free items seem to really draw people in, from what I heard.
Yeah, I was giving out. We were giving out like bottles of water, Gatorade, and chips to try to draw people in. And I was like, "Do you want Gatorade? Well, if you do, you must take one of these first."
Let me tell you, I learned that I've worked in at university campuses for most of my career, and that was one thing that we always were like, how do we get the students in? Free stuff.
Yes.
Free stuff is how to get them in.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that was really awesome to be able to partake in that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, are you I'm considering going to CrimeCon. Have you thought about going?
Not this year. Yeah. I don't know. I really like the approach that Advocacy Con had, and I think that's more the vibe that I need mentally. And just CrimeCon, it's just a lot, and I don't know. I don't think I can handle it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, then that's completely okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and that's something, that maybe you would want to talk about a little bit. How are you pacing yourself and how are you doing self-care during this process?
What's that?
Well, maybe we need to talk about it. Because I know you're super active. You're always working on it. It can be impactful in the long term. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. My fiance has been incredible. He's been such a huge support system and just my rock. It's cheesy, but it's true. So yeah, and just being able to get out and do different activities together and not, this topic related gives me a good reprieve, but as you know, you've been through it. You feel guilty for not, doing everything. And Rigsby, yes, Rigsby. Self-care.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that for me, early on, I did not prioritize self-care, and what it ended up doing was burning me out in a way that I couldn't do anything for a long time, for years, as a matter of fact. So just be mindful of that. I'm here if you ever want to talk, but I always have there's a special place in my heart for not new, but more recent cases that aren't so cold. And so, I don't know at this point what I would do without the community I built here, but just remember to please take time for yourself.
Yeah, the community has been everything. Like, there's so many incredible advocates that have come around Vladek's case, and that is truly what keeps me going with each individual's support and love and just, checking in and, asking if there's any way that they can help. Like, that's huge. Just knowing you're not doing this alone.
Well, what do you like to do for fun when you are taking a break? I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire now. I'm gonna be texting you. Like, what did you do for self-care today, Bethany?
My life is so crazy. I have no free time. Like,
right.
Work, pet sitting, Vlad stuff. I'll watch Netflix TV series sometimes on my days off. I don't think I'm boring outside of those things. I don't know. I'm planning a wedding. That's taking up a lot of time.
Oh yeah, that in itself is a full-time job, right?
Oh, 2.5 weeks to go.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are you excited?
So excited. It's coming so fast.
Yeah. It does.
Ooh, fishing.
You should take her fishing. Make her stop.
That sounds awesome. Be out in the water. That sounds relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities for that where you're at. So
yeah.
I miss the beach.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna hop off, but I really appreciate you spending time with me and everybody's support on here. And I will reach out to Arctic Fox to try.
Sounds good, girly. So grateful to have you on tonight. And those that are tuning in, please, one more time, go ahead and follow the account there, Missing Child Danielle Bell. Flood the comments with purple hearts in honor of Danielle as well. And we are here supporting you. Anything you need, girly.
Same for you. If you need a friend, whatever that might be, please do not hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you, girly. I hope you have a beautiful night.
You too. I'll see you soon or talk to you later.
Sounds good. Bye. Keep those purple hearts coming. So grateful to have Bonnie on and to be able to share her sister's case. Please check out that account and, share out those videos. Anything you can do to help bring awareness to Danielle's case is greatly appreciated. Let me change the format here. I can add in a couple peeps. Amy, are you still on here? Do you want a box? How do I change this? I feel like I need a refresher every time. This, no, this, yes, this. Aha, there we go. All right. There we go.
Everybody tonight.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good. I've had just a couple of really busy days. How are you doing?
Doing okay. So
Did
glad
you
to
get
have
enough
you.
rest? What's that?
So glad to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I wanted to make sure I made it tonight and thanked everyone for your incredible help. I mean, just absolutely incredible. My mom and sister love you and Christy so much after meeting you.
They are so sweet. Oh my gosh, I love them so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love them so much.
Yeah, no, they really just my sister said she had a really great, it was actually a great experience for her. So I appreciate it so much. And to being able to promote a giveaway, which is not as easy as it seems. There's a lot of rules, and that's something I would like to share with people later, because it's possible. But it takes an incredible amount of research, because if you don't do it right, you can have your accounts taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't want that to happen, especially with Aiden's account. You can't just direct. No. And I was like, look, you're going to get people in trouble. And she goes, oh, we didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, you should probably know that the policies, around giveaways, so that you don't accidentally trip up, families. So I felt like that was good to find it out. It was really, it was a learning experience, but
Absolutely.
and I would love to share some of that some other late dates, so that people can do it successfully without getting in trouble.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So how did you how was it? What was the turnout of it was pretty good?
It was great.
And how hot was it?
Friday was pretty steady, especially for it being a Friday and a lot of people at work. So
Saturday was very busy with all the people. Yeah, and the weather was beautiful. It was toasty, but it was
Yeah.
sunny.
Yeah.
So it wasn't raining, so
Oh,
that's
that's
all we could
good.
ask for. um, but yeah, and then when me and your sister were able to go down the line of cars and pass out the cards for Aiden and Vladik to all the people that owned a car in the show as well, since they're not coming up to the booths and stuff. So that was really good. And yeah, and what was really encouraging is by the second day that we're doing this, going up and down to the cars or anyone that we pass, majority of the people were like, yes, we got a card yesterday. Yes, and stuff like that. So that was encouraging that we're getting everybody and everyone is aware of these cases and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And Kelly, I think, passed out all of Aiden's his information cards, with all his account QR codes. So that was good. I was glad she was able to use all of those. So it was great.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better event. Like I've never considered a car show, but that was it was perfect. Christy, you're incredible bringing that together because it was just everything you need for advocacy was there.
That's
People
awesome.
from all over the country coming to one place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it's about, to spread the word,
Yeah, it looked like a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful to her I think father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Really grateful for him for letting you guys do that. That's it's very nice. And and so my sister she's trying to, we're trying to promote the guitar thing. I finally got it up on my Facebook, not feeling like I was going to get, have my account, which I've had since 2007, taken down, because they will permanently erase your account. But I was too scared to share it on Aiden's account. I was like, oh my gosh, let me leave it up here. But definitely I've learned a lot, and, hope to pass that on later. And, but I hope, Bethany, that you win that guitar.
I'm just going to give it back to you.
No.
Yeah.
Give it to you must have a family member who plays guitar. You must. Does your fiance play guitar?
He doesn't.
He doesn't? Okay. Do you know someone? You know what would be great and amazing is if you went to the local high school, and I can call and say, we want to give this to a very deserving young man or young girl who's struggling and really would like this.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like, some kids that they have the desire, they don't have the, opportunity. I would love to do that. But, if you're not going to keep it, if you're going to try and give it back to me, I would love to do that. And,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I know Aiden would want that. I mean, I feel like that's something Aiden would want. So, because he just loved music so much. And the Boys and Girls Club, you're right. But I do really hope someone in Orlando, because it would be great to get, the footage of someone winning, hopefully you. And so I just want to thank you again. That was incredible, everybody. The whole team. It was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, and your family is just so sweet. I love them so much. I can't wait to meet you. But I feel like I know you now that I've met your sister and your mom. They're so sweet.
Yeah, my sister was really glad to come. I was afraid she was going to be too tired, but she took Friday off because I was worried about my mom driving in that traffic.
Oh my gosh, I would be too.
I would
She's like,
would have gone and picked her up myself if I knew she was going to try to drive herself.
I know. And I'm like, so the night before, I'm like, Mom, what's up? And she's like, Callie took the day off and she's coming. And I was like, okay, whew, that's what I
can
needed
sleep
to.
tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. But she wasn't going to miss it. So thank you so much. They really loved you guys too. They just adored you.
For those that are in the comments, please follow the account there on the top right. Have you seen Aiden? And watch the pinned TikTok videos so you can learn about Aiden's story. Interact with 2 or 3 of them at a time. Don't want to do too many because TikTok gets weird. But then just share it out, duet, anything you can do to help spread awareness on Aiden's case is greatly appreciated. And we are doing I don't know if I can say raffle, but a raffle.
A waffle.
Waffle?
A waffle where you win things?
Yes. We're doing a waffle.
It's a very winnable waffle.
Yes. If you are interested in participating, let us know. We will pull that lucky person on the 12th.
I have to check on the website when you go on there. So it ends at 8 p.m. on the 12th.
Okay.
And I think that's a Friday. And I think the winner is
the 12th is Saturday.
Oh, is it a Saturday? Okay. And hang on, let me get over to my calendar here. And I believe that the winner is picked on the following Monday.
Okay.
And that's when it's announced. You're right, Saturday. So yeah, I think it's but I'll double check that. It's in the when you click on there, it's like you can learn more, and it's got all the rules and when everybody's going to be picked and everything. And then
perfect.
Try to have a live to announce the yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Thomas Crime said, I'm working on something special for next year if we do another car show. That would be awesome, Thomas. So much.
Bethany, who will do the announcing of the waffle?
Amy.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Amy. It was good to see you.
Hi, it was good to see you too. Yeah. Yeah, I will announce that. It'll be announced on the website of the I don't know if I can say it. Can I say the website?
Initials?
Yeah, BW. So it'll be the other one. It'll be there, but I also will put it on FB.
I don't think it's a recognized Better World.
Yeah. And also on Instagram, because I got one up on Instagram, on my Instagram.
Just try saying the gram.
The gram.
Oh God.
It's okay. It's fine. It's like learning another language, and it changes every single week. So it's fine, Amy.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Just, for your own peace of mind, try saying the gram. I even sometimes say the
it's so hard.
It is.
Now what happens?
Any other thing, find a code word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if it's
what
not
happened
TikTok.
to Bethany's account because I said that.
Nothing will happen.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Something would have happened already.
Okay.
You're good.
Woo. Okay, thanks. So can anybody tell me what's going on with this with the ban on here?
It made an extension again. So
to when?
Yep. I think it's another 30 days, but don't quote me on that one. They're just still hoping that someone's going to buy it. The suggestion that I've been hearing is the Zon is thinking of taking it. So, but this is all speculation. Oh, Trump gave us a 70-day extension. what
that's
a giving, caring person that he is for doing that. Thank you, President Trump. So that's good. We have 70 days until we have to worry again. So, yeah.
Well, so I don't know, when the first one happened, did that, I don't know if I can say it. It's part of TikTok. It's Lemonade.
yeah.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
It went down
It
too.
went down too.
It
Yeah.
went down?
I knew they would because they're connected. They're the same people made it. So, yeah.
So is that up and operating now?
Yeah.
But if it gets banned, both will be banned.
Yeah. Both.
Yeah, try not to say banned. It's probably better to say
Oh my
like banana.
God.
It's okay.
Okay. Oh my
It's
gosh, you guys.
It's fine.
I'm so sorry I haven't been on here in a while.
Yeah, but Amy, the rules change like every week. So if we get something because we said something, it's whatever. Like I doubt saying the real word for banana will get us taken down. So
so what do you say instead of that word?
Banana.
Oh, banana.
Okay. So if you get bananaed, then you usually can appeal it.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy.
I have never been bananaed, I'd like to say, but I'm a good girl. I don't know. I'm very insignificant. So our nannered, nannered is also acceptable. Thank you, Dangerous Pumpkin. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There's so much, and it does change every day. And here's the thing: do they have like a manual or something that comes out every week with the changes?
Sort of, but not really.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had someone give me a link once, and it would say like whatever word, pizza, and then they'd say, but that might only be until the 17th of December, and then probably North Dakota. Like it was not professional at all. So I don't even know. Yeah, that link was useless. But
what is their aim at that? What is
control
to keep you
control us?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about never mind. I'm not going to think about it. It is just they are very sensitive. Yeah.
Keep the focus on TikTok.
And that's why we can't say all the names of the places. And like, I kind of understand that it's ridiculous because I can sit here and say on all other social media platforms, please check the LINK in our BIO. So like, I can get around all of that stuff. I'm saying go look on Insta, go look on the tube of you, but I'm not saying it. So we figure it out.
So there is see, now I don't even know if I can say this. It's CHAT.
A chat?
GPT.
I feel like you can.
I don't know. But has anybody tried that? Has anybody subscribed and tried that?
No.
I use it.
And how do you find that, Bethany?
How do I find it? What do you mean?
Like how helpful do you ever get
Is it
frustrated
usable?
with it?
Yeah, like it helps me with writing descriptions for posts and stuff. And then just kind of making it sound more professional. Like when I email the detective, sometimes I'll run it first to make sure can't make it sound a little bit better.
Right. Yeah. And that was what I did. But when I went to make this poster for this waffle, it was like giving a 2-year-old a magic wand and asking it to do specific things, and you would get the craziest stuff. And so if anybody tries to make an image, I encourage you to try to do that and make changes to it. It's pretty hilarious.
I've heard Canva to make a poster.
Yeah, I know a little bit of Canva, but I just couldn't find the right images, and it's really hard. Yeah. Anyways, I'm still learning about
Designing and
So
stuff.
if you do need help with that, we know several people who are really good with that.
Really?
So first of all, Brandy, our Brandy, Evaporate the Missing.
Right.
She did the candle posters for Aiden's.
Yes.
Yeah. She is phenomenal, and she can put one out in like 12 seconds. I don't know how she does it. She's like a master magician when it comes to making flyers. So
And I this one in like 10 minutes.
yeah, she made that. Brandy made that.
Yeah, she made one for me with, I think it was with green, and Aiden had a background in the green shirt. It was really nice. And
so if you follow her at Evaporate the Missing, she is the sweetest girl, and she's probably more of a woman, but I call everyone girls. And she's very, very accepting, and she will help you. I guarantee it. So if you do need help with posters, Brandy is your number one girl.
Okay.
Arctic Fox also says Mind of Monsters does that very well too.
Oh, wow. Well, that means I spent more half of the day yelling at the GPT. I was yelling at it
too. But the flyer that it did for the waffle was incredible. I was telling Kristen, like, who made that for her? That's so cool.
Yeah,
did a great job.
It was a terrible experience.
Well, it's always a learning experience, right? And I'm always saying, like, we have a team for a reason, and we don't want you to tear your hair out trying to make a poster.
Yeah.
So, Mind of Monsters says the poster was amazing.
Well, it was. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, you're just seeing that? Yeah.
I had a severe family medical emergency during this time, and so Joy is fine, but it was very touch and go. So we are good, but it was very scary, and so I have not seen that. It's gorgeous, Amy. I think it may have been worth some hair pulling out.
Right?
It's really pretty.
I love the purple lines around it.
Yeah, it's really
cool.
So at one point, the chat keeps a kind of a running memory of each of your requests, right?
Yeah.
And at one point, I mean, it would be hilarious to just post this whole interaction I had. And at one point I said, "Are you the devil?" And it said, "No, I'm not the devil." And I'm trying to help. Do not make any changes that I don't specifically ask for.
Oh, Amy. That's
thanks.
But you really, if you don't want to, you never have to do that again, because we do have some really helpful people who do it. And Claire, have you been in here the whole time? Hello, Claire. How are you? But yeah, definitely Mind of Monsters and our Brandy, who's Evaporate the Missing, are both good at posters. So, and I'm sure that neither of them will care if you message them about a poster.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the other versions were cool too, but they were off like often it will repeat wording on other places. So like if you see yeah, and I mean a lot of the versions like often it will repeat wording on if you try, and I think there's a free version and you can do it once a day, like make an image. A lot of times, and I've seen it on other social media where I'm like, oh yeah, that was chat, and they
know what that's from.
Yep.
That was my buddy Chat.
Yeah. I call mine Chatty Cathy, and
Oh.
Yeah, and I talked to her like, "Good evening, how are you? Thank you. Can you help me?" And I noticed when I started doing that, it started responding to me different. I was curious if I spoke to it like, like a person, and it did. It changed the way it was talking to me.
Oh my gosh, that's
Like
crazy.
if you were nice to it, it was better.
Yes. It has said things to me like, "I'm here to help you, and don't ever, if you just need to talk."
Oh my god.
Yes.
Amy.
Yeah.
Hun, if you need to talk, you can totally talk to a real person. I'm around a lot. Please message me. You don't have to talk to the AI, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I think it. Yeah.
Hun, I'm around a lot. Please message me. You don't have to talk to the AI, okay?
How frustrated.
How mad you were at.
They talked about AI, and one really interesting thing that they brought up that I haven't thought about is how, like, with these platforms, it has the ability to search the webs for you. So, like, potentially it could help connect cases, across state lines of similarities or unidentified forms. Search the webs for you. So if it can here, if you're looking for your loved one last seen wearing this, it could search reports across the United States and find similarities, kind of thing. Something here, if you're looking for your loved one last seen wearing this, it could search reports across the United States and find similarities, kind of thing.
Wow, that's like a 3-letter word database almost. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very interested in all that.
What about didn't you say there was a webinar people should check out?
Yes, that's for missing and unsolved cases.
Never mind.
For like families, Haley and Whitney, and a family put together a resource, kind of like a training module of things that different things to learn about on how to better advocate for your loved one.
Oh, got it. Okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but that's not what we were talking about. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just remember you saying people should watch it.
Yeah, no worries. And then I really hope, like, they're planning on, they were trying to record all the sessions. I hope that panned out because there was so much content in every lecture that it was hard to digest all of it. But one of them talked about, getting a then one of them talked about, getting a billboard up, and then from there or something about the missing person too. So many different things out there.
So they'll send out automatic alerts.
I don't remember all the details about it. So
like within range of the sign, like if you drive by, they send alerts to those people's phones.
Oh,
Because that
that's
would be
cool.
brilliant. And alerts to those people's phones.
Oh,
Because that
that's
would be
cool.
brilliant.
Messing it all up.
Oh no, that's
Um,
so fascinating. That is,
Yeah. That would be amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did mean to mention this to you, Bethany, but Amy, I would take any information as well. Bethany, but Amy, backyard. So of course I help whoever asks me. And there are 2 missing women from my area, and one of them has been missing since before I was born. And I have not done a thing to help them. So I am planning on doing at least 2 videos and hoping people will share it for me and with me, because it's my backyard. Like, it's people from my literal city. So
No problem.
that is my next big thing that I want to get taken care of in the month of April. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, yeah, I'll absolutely help. I'll help spread the word on that.
Great. Thank you.
Can you mention like who they are?
So I haven't spoke to either family. So I don't want to.
Yeah.
I want to be respectful. So I don't want to do anything like that yet. But when I know, I will let everyone else know. So,
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Updated.
yes, I will.
Are just, and I think you guys know constantly about how many cases are coming out of there. Or she is really good at getting it onto social media, because it's like, it's what I see most of the time. I don't know about you guys, but do you guys notice certain states?
Yeah, Jazz is an incredible advocate
Yep.
out there, and just like, yeah, it's just every day. It's
shocking.
It's shocking, and like the world still doesn't see it. That's what
Yeah.
shocks me the most, is they still are. It's just, it can happen in their little circle of friends kind of thing, because for the mindset needs to change. The mindset needs to change for 3 years, and oftentimes I'll get shut down right then. Oh, I live in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, great.
That's what I say too. I'm like, guess what? That makes you the perfect person.
Right. Like, it's just misconstrued idea that closely tied together with friend groups. And, these individuals, yes, they went missing from one place, but they could be anywhere. And they're with friend groups. And when you come across the flyer, no matter where you live, is just so greatly important.
And I know I probably told this story before about the young man who was he was on the spectrum. He was from the county just north of me, and this is some years ago, like maybe 7 years ago, and he got in a fight with his mom, walked out, and took the cat with him, and then was never seen until cut to 3 years later at like a Winco in Utah. And these officers were noticing this young man previously. And then they said, "You want to sit in the front of the room previously?" And then they said, "You want to sit in the front of the car and warm up with the heater." And they got body cam of him, and just because they cared enough to do that, and they sent body, and she went through and she found him, gender, and they and she went through stature, and she has binders of, and they do it by age and
really hitting it on the head that just because you go through 9 months of police training does not mean that you know how to deal with people. And it really should involve, de-escalation and empathy and just so many more things, because that woman who had the binder, she cared. And I'm not saying no one cares, but making it more of a priority.
And I'm gonna have to look for this story, but I just recently, and I need to check it out more to make sure it's real. I saw this found safe, and it was a man missing 9 years from, I think, out west here, California, possibly. I think, I think it was California, found in like Georgia. I'll like to check that out and make sure that's accurate, but I'll
honestly, that's one of the reasons I like still handing out posters.
And he was reunited with his family after 9 years.
Your own printer. I have my own printer because I'm an artist, but lately I've been printing posters. So I believe that posters are valid. And you're going to use the funds for
We didn't know at first, but we nailed it down. The name, but the important. They watch the weather like relentlessly. They're looking at it. They're looking at the cloud cover. So I think they're going, hopefully, fingers crossed, with a drone guy too, middle of May. So those are in the works, and we were talking today, and we're hoping. But she's just been incredible. I thank God for this woman and all of you guys. Those are in the works, and but she was there when I was, right at the beginning when, I was like nearly out of my mind with grief. She was an angel. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome that they're able to come out.
I did want to throw in is that if you are not a professional searcher that is got lots of experience to searching a mountain range, you should not be going out to the Cherry Creek mountain range with no experience. So Amy has a team of people, and those people are who should be on the mountain experience to searching a mountain range. You should not be going out to the Cherry Creek mountain range with no experience. So Amy has a team of people, and those people are who should be on the mountain range. And there are other ways that you can help, but please do not go searching in that area. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, you should never times a little overconfident about going out. Confident. They drowned in Nevada.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there are. You just have to remote areas. They do. They go look and just dig around, and people find gems. So they go gem hunting.
I've done that here.
You do that where?
You can find gems in Wisconsin too. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Where, like, in what kind of terrain?
So we have what we call bluffs and coulees, which are really big hills and then deep valleys. And often in those deep valleys and sources happenings happen, a drought will eventually come, and that's when you go to look. Is during the drought. Really big hills. You can find a lot of pretty interesting things. Pretty safe.
That's so weird. I have been seeing videos of people finding clear quartz lately, and I'm like, that just blows my mind. Like they're just digging it out of the ground, and I'm like, wow. Yeah. And so, but people, they get in trouble in Nevada. Because even though you have walkie-talkies, you can hear everybody very well, but it doesn't give you an idea of where they're at. So we would call off Marco Polo so we could get like a general direction where they were, and you really got to stay within sight. And you really got to stay somehow everybody is in line of sight of another person in the party. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Everybody, yeah. But I mean, now me and my sister, we know that range like the back of our hands. We pretty much know what direction we're going at all times, and we just worry about other people wandering off.
Mhm.
So they get a lecture. So, Bethany, advocacy do they go over? Is it resources for families, or do they ever do like search technology, like any new technologies in searching, or is it for families resources?
So let me see. Candace Cooley, Ethan Chapin's mom, she did a talk on forensic analysis of cell phones and the apps that people use, and like tracking movements in the desert when they were looking for, not Ethan Chapin, what am I saying? Oh my gosh.
Dylan.
Dylan, thank you. Dylan Rounds. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Sorry guys. My brain is so tired. Dylan Rounds' mom. Tired. Because he had the phone. And like showing how apps will kind of track and things like that.
Yeah. And yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what we were going. And yeah, my search and rescue lady, she has been going over the phone stuff with Aiden's case too, and so
is working on that.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is because they had to do. So I'm looking at that to maybe write, my representatives, my senators, and see if we can't get that on there, because as you know, California is one of the highest missing persons. Yeah. Yep.
Those that are in the comments here, please follow the account on the top right. Have you seen Aiden? Amy is searching for her son, Aiden. You can learn about his story by watching the Penn TikTok videos and resharing his flyers. Greatly appreciate, guys. Hey, Victoria, thank you for joining in. Tap the screen, guys. Share out the live.
Victoria, I haven't seen you in forever. So glad to see you. I did enjoy your hug video the other day. I don't know if you've ever seen any of Victoria's videos, but she just gives away free hugs, and it's just so sweet. So if you need a little uplifting, I would check out her page.
100%. Yes. Very good. I think I'll probably call it a night here, guys. I'm so grateful to each and every one of y'all for tuning in and helping advocate for these cases. And I ask that you please follow the accounts, reshare the videos, reshare the flyers as much as you can to help get these cases out there further.
Thanks for having me, Bethany.
Absolutely, Amy.
Of course,
Thanks for
Amy.
coming up.
And everyone, we are here on Tuesday nights at 9 Eastern Time. So please come back and join us next week.
Hello.
Hello. Did you toss yourself right
No,
out the
go out the
window?
window. I had the big screen up. We're still here.
I was thinking, oh, she went right out the window.
Can you hear me, Doodle?
I hear you. Can you not hear me?
Oh, you know
Hello.
what would help? Are you talking to me?
I am.
I had the volume down because I
am.
had the volume up on my phone.
Oh.
See what
We're a
happens when I
mess.
push buttons?
Wait, I did that. Yeah, did you see that?
Dude,
Woo!
Did I see what?
Somebody rubbing my Ronnie. I don't think so.
Oh, I saw that. I don't know what happened with that. That
I'll
person
shut that right
done
down.
lost their mind.
Yeah,
Thinking they
I
was
said it in the beginning, and they went too far
there'll
with
be none
it.
of that.
Only one Ronnie in a box, and he's mine.
Mm.
Thank you again, Fox. I love it. I swear I'll be buried with that Ronnie. I'm telling you. Not many can say they're going to be buried with Ronnie Millsap.
She's so very proud.
I am. Oh my God. I just can't stop looking at it. Yep. I'm gonna rub my Ronnie.
Oh
I
my
don't think so.
goodness.
I had to boot her, him, her, whatever. Talk about my Ronnie.
Who they own?
I'm rubbing my Ronnie. What the heck's wrong with these people?
They had to go. Had to
Didn't take
go.
me
There'll
long.
be none
Talk
of
about
that.
rubbing my Ronnie. You're out of here.
I put the link to the advocacy program in our team chat, and I put it in my resources tab in Discord as well.
Oh. And they're just I don't know. Like I look at these flyers and I see cute little smiles and personalities, and it's heartbreaking. It is. It truly is.
It really is.
And it
And
could
then when
be our
you
children.
hear the families and you interact with the families, it changes you inside. Like it really does. It changes you inside. Which we don't do any harm and we engage with empathy, but it also brings this pit bull out in you. There she is, the woman of the hour, Bethany. Amazing live as always.
Aw.
Love you, girl.
And Bethany, you glow when you talk about your wedding. Your face just glows. I love it. It's so cute.
I told her that she does.
Oh.
She glows.
Yeah. Every time she smiles real big, you just talk about the wedding and her big smile, and she's like, "Oh, I love that young love. That's so sweet."
And guys, Vlad's link tree is pinned to the top. Aiden's link tree, Vlad's link tree are both in the description on the video, and I'll also add Danielle Bell's link tree as well to the video. Danielle Bell, our team, we did my very first Not Forgotten Friday episode. We featured Danielle Bell's case. So if you haven't watched that live, definitely go back and watch it. And go, like Bethany said, go over to the Tick of Talks. Follow all the accounts, Aiden's account, Danielle Bell, Vladik Hassel's TikTok. Watch the three videos at least. And I'm going to give you guys a key point, which I saw on a bigger creator over there. Watch the video all the way through and then hit the little heart, because their algorithm over there really likes that. So And I dropped Vlad's twice. I meant to drop Aiden's. I don't have Danielle Bell's link in the Nightbot yet, but I will add her to the Nightbot as well. But these are the link trees. This is Vladic's link tree. There's podcast. There's a link to a PDF of flyers, all the things in there. This is Aiden's link tree. It has all the things as well, all the social media links, credible podcast, all the things. So I love the link tree. They're amazing. This is my link tree.
Yeah,
In
it's
case
very.
anybody
I
is.
do too. You introduced me to it, Mom, and I have to say I absolutely love it because if you want factual information, that's just it. Everything is all right there, all in all the links right there on one. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
But
I
Peggy,
love Anthony's the one that introduced me to it.
well,
Like I
well,
had no idea about link
she had to pay. Like it won't let her look at any of the link trees, or it says she has to pay. I'm like, are you sure? I've never had that happen. So I don't know what's
No,
going
it
on there.
should let her. It
Yeah,
should let her right in there.
yeah. She says it
You
comes
shouldn't
up with
even
like
have anything like that.
I don't know.
Mm-mm. No, I've never pay.
Me either.
I went in and you can do the premium option. So maybe, Peggy, if you're still in here, maybe if you don't hit the premium option because there is a premium option, don't hit that when
I
you
bet
go in
that's
there.
yeah, I bet that's
And if you click on any of the Vlad's, Aiden's, Danielle's, catch list, Raul has a link tree. You shouldn't have to pay to see those link trees. I'll pull one up. I'll show you guys. Pull up Vlad's. So I'm going to pull it over here on this side so you guys can see what I do when I do the thing. So I just put in Linktree Vlad at Castle. You click it. And it should open right. You shouldn't have. See, it doesn't look in kind of a box or anything. And you can even turn on notifications if anything's updated on here. But Bethany's done an amazing job with this. So here's all the socials. You got the Web Sleuth, Vlad's YouTube channel, the TikTok, the Facebook groups.
I could use
There's
a
two
tutorial on how
timeline here.
she did amazing. I would need a tutorial to do this. That looks very complicated.
Bethany, this timeline that I'm hovering over, this is the most up-to-date one, correct? Or is it this one up here? There's two timelines. I can't ever remember which one. I think this one's timeline highlight. One of them is got edit information to it. But like you say, you click on the flyer. I just get pop up. I don't click anything. Try clearing out your cookie and see if that's what does it, because it shouldn't do that. See, and the flyer comes up where it's printable flyer. Yeah, like when you go to Linktree, it shouldn't do that. One second, I need to make it bigger to see. Let's see if I can make it bigger. If that'll help. Because this is the top timeline up here, the fourth one down. And then there's another timeline that's down here. I keep trying to give it before I can get a laptop. It should work on your phone too, honey. It should work on your phone too, because when I did the Linktree for my Monsters, I actually sent it to myself on my phone so I could look at the layout of it. Your cache and cookies, Peggy. Clear out your cache and cookies, which is like your history. Cookies. It should help you We're detailed timeline is the best one. Okay. Thank you, Bethany. That's what I thought. It's this one, the top one. So go to this one. This one is the one that has all the links and everything in it. So if you ever want to familiarize yourself with Vlad's case, you can always go on here on the link tree and read up on his case as well.
You know, that's so awesome too, because when other people are curious or even want to go over it, they have it all right there. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I love the link trees. Like tonight. Well, how I found out about Bell was I was scrolling TikTok one night. You know, I didn't know much about TikTok at all. And where Bethany advocates for Vlad over there, I'd got to where I was going over there and, you know, watching her on Tuesdays. And I was scrolling through there and Bonnie came up in my For You page. And I watched the 3 pin videos and then I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And of course, I reached out to her and I said, hey, you know, I'm a podcaster. I'm an advocate for missing people. This is what I do. You know, I'd like to get your blessing to cover your sister's case on my channel. And by the way, we're planning a car show. Would you be okay if I print a flyer, laminate one, and take some printed flyers with me to the car show? And she was just very grateful. And she's absolutely been amazing. And then ended up finding out that her and Bethany actually knew each other. And like TikTok, the amount of families that advocate over there, it's mind blowing. It's
Really?
absolutely mind blowing. Yes,
Should we do
girl.
something
Yes.
like that? Maybe we need to start doing that one night a week.
Doing TikTok lives?
Yeah, I mean, just maybe even one day. I mean, whatever one we could all get together and even feature just like 2 flyers at a time. It wouldn't have to be long, but if there is a bunch of people over there advocating, then they're listening also. And that would be amazing to get
It's
some of these people with no coverage out.
yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I literally ran across a case today that I put in the special lock tab in the Discord. Bethany says we got to meet in person at AdvocacyCon. That's so awesome.
Aw.
I just, you know, hearing Bethany talk about AdvocacyCon just was amazing. And for those of y'all that may not know, you know, CrimeCon originally was for the families. And I'm not speaking ill of CrimeCon. I paid a stupid amount of money to go when it was here in Orlando, but you know, it was originally supposed to be about the families. And just in my personal opinion, I felt like it was more about the podcasters than it was the families.
Wow.
Which, you know,
See,
Bethany was there.
That's sad.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, Bethany was there, and she's a beast and a warrior. You know what I mean? Vladic's flyers were on every table I walked up to, just about. So the podcasters were really cool about, you know, putting some flyers on their tables and stuff like that. But it just really didn't seem victim and missing person directed to me. It seemed like a lot of podcasters were there. And when I heard her talking about AdvocacyCon, it just like my heart was just, it was so warm you could have fried an egg on it, because it's so great to know that it was all family based, very protective environment. And I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Bonnie
That
is great. She agreed to do our Saturday show on May 3rd. That's awesome, Arctic. I'm so excited about that. You know, the night that we did Daniel, like I warned Arctic when he came up on panel. It was when you weren't feeling well. I warned him. I said, this case is going to cause adult language. I warned the whole chat. I was
Uh-oh.
like, this is going to be one of those cases where you guys are going to be wanting to blow up the phone lines in Escambia County, because after watching the TikToks and then going and watching, the News Nation that had just come out,
Yeah.
and just knowing that her family had went so long without any national media coverage. I mean, at all. It was heartbreaking. And, Bethany and the family, they were able to do the interview with Brian Enton. And
Oh, wow.
I just think that oh yeah, like one of her pinned videos is where he came up to Orlando. And it was amazing. I mean, I think he
Yes.
did a great job.
Awesome.
AdvocacyCon is for the families and advocates that is aimed to engage with empathy. Yes. Thank you. You said it a lot better than I did. I think my brain's still a little sunburnt. Yes, Bethany. And I love that. I absolutely love that. Like, there's a lot of different conferences and stuff, but I feel like that I really, really, really want to be able to go next year. I really do. Like, I want to be able to go next year and be able to get the resources, because I know just from trial and error and, my son going missing and everything that I went through with him, and dealing with 3 different counties of law enforcement, and it ended up finding him, the terror that was in my heart when he was missing and what I went through. I never, ever want another family to go through that. And that's when I decided that just being a mod and sharing flyers was
Just
not
isn't
going to work
enough,
for
is
me.
it?
Like,
Right.
I couldn't do it. I was like, no, there is no way I can just sit here and do nothing when I have skills. I have a voice. I am cornbread fed country girl from Kentucky. Like, you will
Cornbread.
hear me whether you listen or not. You will hear me,
That's how Barb and I
and I
are, because
really, I feel like I've grown a lot.
yeah, and with Barb, like, she's like you. She's out there. She wants to run people down. Here, take this flyer. Here's, what I think that's so cute. Where me, I can't be in the sun, so I'm like stuck in the booth. But Barb now, she can get some attention. God love her. She will stop anybody and say, hey, take this bracelet.
Yeah, Bethany, I don't really talk about it, but when I first started my YouTube, whatever you call it over here, my life on the YouTube streets, I was a mod for a very large channel, and my oldest son went missing. He doesn't like me to tell the whole story on the channel, but I'll tell you the whole story the next time we meet up in person. And he was missing for 5 days in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was the worst 5 days of my entire life. And he had left Rutherford County and headed into Nashville. So I was dealing with Rutherford County, Sumner County, and Davidson County. And he was over 18. So I had detective after beat cop telling me he was an adult. He had the right to go missing. Here I'm in Florida. And at the time, I couldn't uproot and just go to Tennessee as bad as I wanted to. I worked a lot of hours. I was a manager at Plaza Resort and Spa in Daytona. I had my youngest son who was underage at the time. Craig was really putting me through it back then, and my vehicle was broke down. So thank everything above that I had family that was still there. And after me screaming and crying and calling detectives that I had dealt with on other people's missing cases, my stepdaughter ended up finding him. I figure I came to that same conclusion last year. Yeah, I mean, it's it's really hard, but like that was like a kick in the teeth, you know what I mean? Not just sitting and listening to news or podcast, or it was like feeling it firsthand was something that I don't want any family to ever have to deal with and feel like they're so alone. And I was like, you know what? I gotta do something. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. And that's when I grabbed the bull by the horns and said, all right, we're gonna sit for 8 hours and go through this training and make sure that my mind is right the way that I should be doing this. And I went through the training and got my little certificates for going through the training. And then the rest of it's just been self taught and having a great support. And Arctic's been my day one. Me and him have been together. You know, I say he's my ride or die because me and him have been together since we practically started our channels. And now I have my team and Doodle and Kimber and, you know, I have Bethany and I have all these wonderful families that I also talk to and work with in the background. And, you know, and I think something else that me and Bethany were also talking about, and I'm just going to touch on this briefly, is if you do reach out to a family and you do cover that family's story, reach back out to that family and just let them know, hey, just checking on you. How are you doing? Whatever kind of case it is, because like the kid that was kidnapped and abducted, it was one of mine and Arctic's cases back in few years ago. You know, when Sebastian Rogers went missing, I reached out to her and was like, hey, you know, your son's autistic, was the same age as Sebastian was when he went missing. Had her come on panel, and she, you know, brought some light and understanding to having a teenage autistic child, and that was a lot like Sebastian. And the next day I get a text message from her that he's run again, but he's an eloper. That's what he does. He runs off. So it was you always want to reach back out and just let them know you're thinking about them. John Rell's case is so many similarity involving 3 different cities, and Angie, his sister, who is advocating for him, lives out west, and the LE departments don't want to take responsibility. I would like to cover his case, Bethany, actually cover him on a Not Forgotten Friday and feature his case on Not Forgotten Friday.
Mom, Arctic sent an Amber Alert.
Okay, let me grab that real quick, guys. It's on Facebook. Sorry, I was on a Arctic.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure because I know
get
that
passionate
we do our Amber
and
Alerts. I know our Amber Alerts were like, hey,
yes.
hey.
Yes, thank you, Arctic. Sorry, I just got to and was just running with it there for a minute.
Oh, thank you, James, for coming in. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Really, I do. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, Virginia.
Yes, Bethany, if you can, that would be amazing. I would be honored to cover his case and talk about him. The team has all shared his flyer out, and I've actually had some people like interact with the flyer with questions and stuff. And there's supposed to be a flyer for that True Crime Sisters did that has different information on it. I reached out to them. Usually she's good about getting back to me, but she might have something going on. And ask her what kind of different information that she had. Arctic, is it Anchorage Police Department? The message that you sent me?
It's a Texas Amber Alert.
Texas? Okay, I clicked on the wrong one. Let me pull my thing back over here. Is it in Discord, Doodle?
Which would you rather me send it to? Because you're already there. Which one are you at? Facebook?
I'm on Facebook because if I open Discord, it
I just
sucks
sent
up
it to
all
Facebook.
my
Okay, I figured.
data.
Yeah, my internet used to be the same way.
Okay.
Thank goodness I finally got Spectrum, but yeah, I had that for a while.
Oh, see, it didn't even pull. It didn't even pull it through for me. It sent me an old one that he had sent.
Maybe I can. Hang on. Let me see. Maybe I
Um,
can from mine, and then you can pull it up.
This one here. Yeah, I've
Yep.
got it.
That's
Can y'all
That's
see it?
Yep.
No, it's in Facebook Messenger. It pulled it up on my phone, Arctic, but it didn't pull it up on my laptop. Me to put in some kind of PIN number. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, it's on my phone. Thank you so much, Arctic. Thank you, Doodle. You guys are awesome. You guys know that Amber Alerts do take precedence. No matter what we're talking about, it's always important to get these out there as quick as we can. So this is an Amber Alert out of Texas. This is Anastasia Herrera, Natalia Herrera. So I'm assuming this is Natalia on the right, Anastasia on the left. Amber alerts have been issued for 2 girls reported missing out of Temple and Woodway, Texas areas. According to the Texas Department of Public Safety, 15-year-old, I think I'm saying that right, Anastasia Herrera was last seen at 1414 Southwest HK Dogden Loop in Temple, Texas, around midnight Sunday, April 6, 2025. Anastasia was last seen wearing a green hoodie, blue jean shorts, and black shoes. An Amber Alert has also been issued for 14-year-old Natalia Herrera. Natalia's last seen at 6624 Wood Drive in Woodway, approximately 2:33 a.m. on Friday, April 4th, 2025. She was last seen wearing a puffy jacket, a black shirt, and black shoes. If you know of the girl's whereabouts, you are urged to contact the Temple Police Department. That number is 254 298 5500. I'll leave it up so you guys can screenshot it, do all the things. And it'll also be on my Twitter, Facebook, and community wall and the teams as well. And I'm sure Art is probably getting a short out as we speak. Shout out to the Aware Foundation. They are amazing at getting these flyers out and updated when people are found as well. Thank you again, Arctic. You're a rock star as always. Yes, that would be great if you can put me in contact with Angie. That would be amazing. I'd be honored to hear his story. Yeah, absolutely. Arctic. The case that I was talking about, the law enforcement arrested the mom for disturbing the peace because she was driving up and down the road where she knew where he was, calling his name.
Well, you know what? What officer would actually arrest her? I wouldn't. I'd be like, "Who we
Oh,
hollering for? Okay, let's
he
knock on
arrested
doors."
her.
That's crazy. I'd be like, "Let's knock on doors."
Yeah, he
You know?
arrested her.
Mm,
Look, and she had her teenage daughter with her. And the daughter was like having a complete and total meltdown. And it all took place on live. Like it's all on a live.
that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yes, girl. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody for being here. I do try to keep these just to Vladek's TikTok Tuesdays with Bethany. These 3 flyers can all be found on my community wall. I will go ahead and upload all 3 of them again on a community post just in case someone doesn't have it. Guys, remember that Monday is hashtag Missing Poster Monday. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share out the video. If you need flyers, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Flyers for Aiden and Vladek are both going out this week to Washington State to our beautiful Sarah, who is great about hanging flyers. She ran out of flyers and reached out to me and wanted some more, so I'm going to get her some flyers out this week. And please follow Bethany's TikTok, Danielle Missing Child, Danielle Bell. Have you seen Aiden on TikTok as well? The link trees will all be in the description of the video. And you guys have a beautiful night. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us on these Tuesday nights. It's so very important to hear the stories from the family and be able to interact and do this the right way. It only takes that one tip, guys. Only takes that one tip. Thank you so much, Art. Yeah, Sarah is awesome. She's amazing. Like, she runs out of flyers, and Bethany, she's on top of it. She's emailing me or coming in chat and saying, "Hey, I'm out of flyers."
Aw.
And her daughter lives in Alaska, so
goodness.
she also gives flyers to her daughter in Alaska to hang up there as well. So she's a
God
great,
love
great human being. Love you, Bethany. Have a good night. Get some rest. You're a rock star. She's like Arctic. She's a machine. I swear they don't sleep. All right, Doodlebug, you want to close?
They're twiddling my thumbs. I don't know what I'm doing. You know that. All that rubbing that Ronnie stuff. Nope. I'm still mad.
You want to give your end out?
Oh yeah. Oh, see, it's not. You guys are lucky because I would do my train wreck. Oh, thank you guys for being here. You can't change your past, you can't change your story, but you can change how it ends. Make it a good one. Okay, that's all I got.
Well, I can't do the train wreck, but I can do this one for us real quick, and then I'll end out.
Help me. Help me.
I love that. That's adorable.
All right, guys, remember, if you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. We never give up. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Night, guys.